And here we are in front of one of Cobra's bases on Cobra Island. And before we look at our main event, which will be Pandora versus Zorana. Yo, Joe! Super Dave here with another exciting review on a G.I. Joe PlayDay, which is kind of a G.I. Joe / Cobra, because we're going to check out Sargent Slaughter, but not just Sargent Slaughter. He is actually going to be the drill sergeant to put two chicks to the test. That's right. We have a G.I. Joe classified Zarana, and we have a Action Force Pandora. Which one of these? They're going to go head to head. And who's going to be the drill sergeant who will referee and find out who is the best? None other than... I'm going to see which one of these chicks really cut mustard, General Hulk. Come on, let's get it done. Now, one of the things I find interesting about this Action Force series is they actually have the foul cards on the back like the G.I. Joes used to, which they are beginning to do a little bit of that on the retro card packages, even though they've really, I don't know, cut them down so they could put every language in there. I don't like that. But check this out, and if you'd like to pause and read that now, you can. All right, so let's go ahead and break open Zarana, Pandora, and of course, let's get it started with Sargent Slaughter. We're going to first meet our drill sergeant who will be hosting this review. None other than Sargent Slaughter. And he comes in this little box thing here. And then he has this little cool locker chest with his accessories in it. So let's first take a look at Sargent Slaughter's accessories. Sargent Slaughter is just jacked, not just physically, but with tons of awesome accessories. Let's bring him in just a little closer. And let's first of all grab a hold of his little whistle. Isn't that cool? It comes with this little whistle that he can blow. Put it around his neck here. Go ahead and put that around his neck. There we go. Gotta have a, if you're a drill sergeant, you gotta have a whistle. And then, yes, oh yes, he comes with his little shades. Aren't they cool? They're even cooler than Joe Biden's. All right. But anyway, the mirror shades was very popular in the 80s. I forget who all it was that wore those that kind of made them popular. I remember, what was it? Panama Jack was some of the brands. But just take a look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, and let's go ahead and get his signature hat on there. See, we got a little strap in the back, like would be, you know, and then the ranking, sergeant ranking on his cool hat here. Oh man, just look at him. I mean, he is decked out. Now, see, one of the things we couldn't do when we had the 3 1/4 Joes back in the 80s is you couldn't remove all that. You couldn't remove his hat or his whistle or his shades and all that, but you can on this dude. He is so cool. It's like a dream come true for the 80s kids who love Joes, and it's just so cool. And it even comes with a baton or some kind of like an instructor kind of would have, bark out his orders. So that is really neat. Awesome. And he comes with a machine gun that has, like we've seen a lot of the Joes have, with a clip. And he even comes with a little removable scope too, and all that's separate. You have to plug those in when you get them out of the bag. It's such a cool machine gun. Has some brown on that handle and on that cocking mechanism. Sorry, I don't know a lot of gun talk, so you have to pardon me for my layman's ignorance in trying to name these parts, but just really cool, really neat. And then he even comes with his own, like the classic style, vintage, if you want to call it, Sargent Slaughter action figure. Isn't that neat? From like the smallest The smallest action figures. Look, even on the back, of course, they do not have the file card back there. What did they have? Some kind of copyright issue? I don't know why these guys don't come with the file cards. I always loved the file cards. I collected all of them. But, man, just really cute. Really cool. Of course, you can see that he comes with these tightly fisted hands here. He also comes with those pointer finger hands, as well as some weapon holding hands. And he comes with these really cool grappling hands. Really neat. Now let's look at the Sarge's articulation. Alright, moving the Sarge in a little closer here. Wow, just take a look at him. Just such an amazing detail. This has got to be one of the best Joes so far that we have seen in the line, in my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and remove his hat and his shades so they don't go flying off when I'm trying to look at the head articulation. But just such good detail, looking like the Sarge himself, Sargent Slaughter. Those of you who don't know, most of you do, he is also a wrestler. Was in WWF, which is now WWE, and he joined the G.I. Joes to fight Cobra because he had the skills of a sergeant. And the Sarge is able to look down a little bit. Actually, he's going to look down more than that. There's a hinge there. Really good amount of looking down. And he's going to be able to look up all the way. So excellent articulation there for Sarge. See, he gets a little bit of head pivoting there. Yep, he's going to get a little bit there. And he will look side to side. Going on to his arms, he's going to get full 360, true bicep swivel. He also has a butterfly joint that gets a little motion there. He's going to be able to go a whole lot better than 90 degrees. More of a Y, instead of a T-pose, a Y-pose there. Double jointed elbows, which get good range. All of his hands, even though he comes with a bountiful supply of them, they are all horizontally hinged. No vertical hinges in this set, but swivel and hinge at the hands, and they are really nice. I love the choices they went with the hands as well. And then he's going to be able to crunch forward a really good amount. He's going to be able to bend back a good amount. He's also going to be able to incorporate that waist part, even go side to side there with that waist and swivel at the waist. So that is excellent. And so, man, just great articulation in the upper torso. Legs do have a little bit of the drop down method, not a whole bunch, but you can get it there. And he will split all the way. So he is definitely that wrestler who can do the moves. And he's going to be able to kick up a really good amount. Just look at that range. That's really good. He's even going to be able to do some side kicks there, which is really cool. All right. And then he has thigh rotation, double jointed knees that are going to go all the way back. Really good. And of course, he has boot cut. He has the ability to go full tiptoes, go all the way up as well, and generous, very generous ankle rocker with a peg hole in the bottom, as is customary with Joe. So he is just fabulous. I'm telling you what, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm giving this guy already a 10 out of 10. That's right. I'm giving Sargent Slaughter a 10 out of 10. I love this guy. So awesome. He is the coolest. Love him. All right. Now Sargent Slaughter is going to take the role of drill sergeant and host as he gets ready to show us our main event for tonight. And that is Pandora versus Zorana. All right, ladies. And we're going to find out which of you two are the best recruits. I guess for Cobra. Yo, Joe? No, that is actually for the Dreadknots. Recruiting for the Dreadknots. Who are you? I am Zartan in disguise. When it comes to accessories, Pandora wins. That is correct, Sargent Slaughter, because not only does she come with a set of balled up fisted hands, but she also comes with a set of trigger finger hands, weapon holding hands, and some gesturing, almost martial arts looking hands, and all of them are wrapped in like some wrapping, so because she's ready to fight. She also comes with this cool scarf. She comes with this machine gun with like a silencer on it, as well as a machete, not to mention her big, cool, metal-looking Action Force peg stand. And that's upside down, but as you see, it says Action Force in that corrugated metal look with pegs. 1, 2, 3 pegs, actually 4 pegs on there. So that's really cool. You could probably impose 2 figures on one stand. I mean, they went the extra mile on these Action Force figures. But that's not it. She also comes with 2 pistols in these holsters, as well as a knife that has a silver blade that will go into her belt. That belt is loose, and you can also remove this vest so that she's just in a tank top. But when it comes to Zorana's accessories, all she comes with basically is this weapon with the little buzzer on the end here, and there is a little removable clip on this, and then the alternate wig or headpiece that she comes with, the hairpiece she comes with, which we'll look at that on her here in just a moment. And then she also has a little knife that goes on her side, and this backpack, and then a knife with some blood on it that goes down in there. But that's about it. I mean, no alternate hands, no alternate clothing. So, you know, definitely lower on the end of accessories. You just pop those 2 pegs there, pop her head off, and as you see that hinge there, but then you just pull this up and over her head peg there, and then off her other arm, and then voila, Pandora has a cool tank top, and it's pretty fitted too. Check that out. It looks good. Looks really cool. She's got the tattoos on her left arm. Again, it's got that belt, and I guess you could probably, I don't think that's removable. Don't think that belt's removable unless you really heated it up and did something with it. But you see there's a belt underneath the belt, kind of an army green there. But you might be able to remove it. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any way of removing it right this second. No. But she looks cool. I mean, just her frame and her overall proportions look really good. Very female. She's even got a tattoo on the back of her head. But she's got long hair if you like long hair, and she's got short hair if you like short hair. Only thing I wish they hadn't have done is like this scarring. I know it's part of her story, but they have like this scar going from the corner of her mouth all the way back, almost like a Joker type motif, which I know she's a bad guy, but yeah, she's got some muscularity to these arms, a tricep, it's kind of a bicep, some good looking shoulders. Just overall, she's really awesome looking, very realistic. I think it strikes you just in the face as being very realistic. Scarring kind of takes away a little bit, but the shape of her head, even the curvatures here of her brow, jawline, the creases in her cheek there that go into her nose, her clavicles up here, everything just looks very realistic, sellable. I mean, you know, it doesn't look very cartoonish as much as it may be a little bit more realistic. But since she's going to be brawling here in just a moment with with Zarana, let's just leave off her bulletproof vestige and check out who's going to win the next round. And when it comes to articulation, the winner is Pandora again. That's right. Pandora wins the round of articulation and accessories. That's right, Sargent Slaughter, because here is the awesomeness of both of these ladies. It's a close matchup here when it came to articulation, but when it comes to head articulation, both ladies do great. Certainly no complaints with their head pivoting and expressiveness. They both do well bending forward. They both do well bending backwards. They both do well pivoting left and right, the diaphragm. They both do well twisting at the diaphragm and the waist. They both do the drop down method and have the ability to do splits all the way, as well as excellent kicks forward, back, and to the side. They both do well with double jointed knees, although Zorana's may get just a hair more of a range. They both have thigh swivel as well as boot cut. Both ankles do great with tiptoes going up and generous ankle rocker with peg holes in the bottom, as well as standing fairly balanced. But here is where Pandora wins. Because of Zorana's shoulder pads, she cannot really go up but about that much naturally without tearing one of these pieces off like that and making her shoulders go up. There's a big peg if you tear that all out of the peg, but it will not go unless you tear it. And if you tear that off, then you can go up. But she can't even get a T-pose, whereas Pandora can get all the way up to a Y pose and beyond, and she can strike a bicep pose there as well. She edges out Zarana by a hair because of her shoulder articulation. I will notice that it is neat that this strap hides the thigh cut very well here. I love the detail, the chain that goes around here. When it comes to details, I'm going to have to give it to Zorana because she's got zipper details, a lot of great paint apps, even though, you know, it's a close call on that one too because Pandora's are good too. Another competition that I would have to say is a tie is muscularity, if you want to count that. I love the ripped abs that Zarana has, but I also love the ripped arms, the buff arms that Pandora has. So that would be a tie on that. But I like both of their builds, and they both have attractive faces and cool hair. To see what this one looks like bald, ta-da! You can make her look bald, or she can have this almost mohawk looking slick back 80s looking hair, punk rock hairstyle. So you can change her hairstyle. This one's basically a solid pink, whereas the other hairstyle is more of a two-tone. And that is right, Sargent Slaughter. You are so cool. So is Zarana. But it is Pandora that wins this round. She is a beast. She is awesome. Accessories, articulation, and overall look and detail. She wins out by a hair, and we're giving the championship between Pandora versus Zarana to Pandora. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us today for the Super Dave review. This has been a very fun G.I. Joe Play Day, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Guess what I've been doing? Making room for the Thunder Tank. It should be up by this coming weekend, God willing. And I appreciate you watching. Enjoy some photos in the photo gallery. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, and comment if you have something to share. We'll see you next time. Be blessed.